Right now, while you were watching this, rain is falling somewhere in America on the roof of a house. It hits the shingles, runs down the slope, drops into the gutter, travels through the downspout, and disappears into the ground. Free water. Tens of thousands of gallons of it every year, vanishing into the soil while the family inside that house pays $103 every single month for water from a pipe. That is the average monthly residential water bill in the United States in 2025, according to J.D. Power's quarterly utility cost analysis. $103 a month, $1,236 a year. Over 30 years, a household pays approximately $37,000 for water. Your roof was collecting it for free the entire time. And in the state of Colorado, until the year 2016, putting a barrel under your downspout to catch that water was punishable by a fine of up to $10,000. The enforcement agency used aerial surveillance to identify violations. A homeowner with a rain barrel in their yard could be detected from the sky and prosecuted. Not because the water was dangerous, not because collecting it harmed anyone, because a law written during the Colorado Gold Rush of 1876 had declared that the rain falling on your roof was not yours. It belonged under the doctrine of prior appropriation to whoever held a downstream water right. The system that produced that law now charges you $103 a month for water your roof already intercepts. According to Bluefield Research, which tracks municipal water rates across 50 major American cities, the combined water and sewer bill for the average American household has increased by 24% in the last 5 years alone. Water bills are rising at nearly twice the rate of general inflation. And since the year 2000, the cost of water, sewer, and trash collection services has risen 207%. Overall inflation in the same period was 93%. Your water bill has more than tripled since 2000. The rain falling on your roof has not changed. In certain cities, the numbers cross into something that Bluefield's own analysts describe as an affordability crisis. In Birmingham, Alabama, and Cleveland, Ohio, combined water and sewer bills now exceed the EPA's own affordability threshold of 4.5% of median household income. Minimum wage earners in some cities must work as many as 20 hours a month just to cover their water bill. The average American home has a roof footprint of between 1,500 and 2,000 square feet. According to the University of Arizona's water harvesting documentation, for every inch of rainfall on 1,000 square feet of roof, a homeowner can collect approximately 623 gallons of water. The average annual rainfall across the continental United States is approximately 38 inches, a 34,000-gallon free water every year flowing into the gutter, while you pay $1,236 annually for water from a pipe. The first time I understood what the Amish relationship with water actually looked like, it was not the well that surprised me. It was what was under the barn. On a property in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, the Amish farmer I was visiting walked me into his barn and lifted a wooden hatch in the floor near the far wall. Beneath it was a stone-lined chamber, roughly 6 feet deep and 10 feet across. The walls were sealed with lime mortar. The floor was compacted clay. The chamber held water, clear, cool, still. He said it caught the barn roof. He said the farmhouse had one too, under the back corner of the foundation. He said his family had not paid a water bill in the time his family had been on that land. I asked how old the cistern was. He said his grandfather built it. He said the design came from his great-grandfather who brought it from Switzerland. He said the Amish in Lancaster County had been building cisterns under their barns and houses since the first families settled there in the early 1700s. I walked back to my truck past the downspout on the corner of the barn. It did not drain to the ground. It connected through a simple pipe to the cistern below. 300 years, no water bill, a hole in the ground, and a pipe from the roof. Let me give you the physics of why this works so completely. Rain is soft water. It is not passed through rock or soil. It carries no dissolved minerals, no hardness compounds, no agricultural runoff from the ground. The early American settlers, documented in the historical record of the 1600s and 1700s, specifically preferred rainwater for washing laundry and personal use because of its softness. Soap reacts differently with soft water than hard water. They noticed. They built their cisterns accordingly. The calculation from the University of Arizona's residential rainwater harvesting documentation is straightforward. Roof area in square feet multiplied by annual rainfall in inches multiplied by 0.623, then reduced by 10% for collection efficiency losses. For a 1,500 square foot home receiving 38 inches of annual rainfall, that is 1,500 times 38 times 0.623 times 90%, 31,949 gallons per year. Call it 32,000 gallons on the conservative estimate. For outdoor use, garden irrigation, livestock water, washing vehicles, filling a pool, suppressing dust on a driveway, that 32,000 gallons is available without treatment, without filtering, without any process beyond a barrel and a downspout connection. Your vegetable garden, documented in the first video in this series, needs approximately 1 to 1.5 gallons of water per square foot per week during the growing season. A 500 square foot kitchen garden needs between 500 and 750 gallons per week. From a 1,500 square foot roof, you collect enough free water to irrigate that garden for the entire season and have tens of thousands of gallons remaining for every other outdoor need. The Amish farmer in Lancaster County does not pay for water to irrigate his garden. He does not pay for water to supply his livestock. He does not pay for water to wash the produce before it goes to market. The barn roof provides it. The cistern stores it. The gravity delivers it. The system has not changed in 300 years. The water bill has tripled since 2000. Now, let me take you to Colorado in 1876, because the story of why most Americans have never built a cistern or put a barrel under their downspout begins not with a corporate campaign or a product launch. It begins with a gold rush and a legal doctrine that outlasted the mines by 150 years. When Colorado was admitted to the Union, the state faced an immediate problem. The land was arid, the rivers were limited, and the miners, the farmers, and the growing towns all needed water from the same sources. The Colorado Constitution of 1876 adopted what is called the prior appropriation doctrine. The principle is this: whoever first put water from a given source to beneficial use has the right to continue that use. First in time, first in right. Under that doctrine, the rain that falls on your property is not necessarily yours. It was classified as a tributary water source, water that, if not intercepted, would flow into streams and rivers where downstream users held legal claims to it. Collecting it from your roof meant diverting water that another party had a legal right to receive. A barrel under your downspout was not a convenience. It was potentially an act of theft from a downstream water rights holder. For 140 years, that doctrine held. Colorado homeowners who installed rain barrels faced fines ranging from $500 to $10,000 under the Colorado Division of Water Resources. Enforcement included aerial surveillance, inspectors identifying unauthorized collection systems from aircraft. The rain that fell on your roof, in the most literal sense, was not legally yours to collect. In 2009, Colorado passed Senate Bill 09080, a narrow exception allowing rural residential properties supplied by exempt wells to collect limited rainwater, provided they obtained a permit from the state. 7 years later, in 2016, House Bill 10005 expanded that permission to all residential properties, but limited collection to 2 rain barrels with a combined capacity of 110 gallons for outdoor use only. 110 gallons, in a state where a 1,500 square foot roof in Denver collects approximately 25,000 gallons per year. The doctrine that protected that restriction was written in 1876 for gold miners. The municipal water systems that now charge Colorado homeowners for water from the same rivers benefited from that doctrine for every year it held. The rain kept falling, the barrel remained illegal, the bill kept arriving. The knowledge of how to collect and store rainwater is older than any law that has ever restricted it. The Indus Valley Civilization, documented at approximately 5000 BC in what is now India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, built one of the most advanced water supply systems in the ancient world, with rainwater collection infrastructure built directly into the foundations of their cities. Archaeological evidence in Israel confirms rainwater cisterns as early as 2000 BC. Ruins of those cisterns are still standing. The ancient city of Venice, surrounded by the brackish water of its lagoon, depended entirely on rainwater collection for centuries. The Venetians built man-made insulated collection wells with stone flooring designed to direct rainwater through sand filters and into underground cisterns. The entire city survived on collected rain for generations. The North American Anasazi channeled rainwater from mesa tops through stone-lined channels into reservoirs that served the cliff-dwelling communities of the Southwest. The Romans built the largest cistern in human history, the Basilica cistern beneath Constantinople, completed in the 6th century, capable of holding more than 21 million gallons of water. It is still standing today. In Pompeii, before the construction of the aqueduct in the 1st century BC, rooftop water storage was standard on every domestic building. Terracotta pipes directed water from roof surfaces into underground cisterns below the house. The archaeology confirms it as a universal practice, not an exception. Early American colonial settlers used rainwater specifically for laundry. They recorded the preference in journals. They called hard water hard and rainwater soft. The difference mattered to them. They built cisterns under their farmhouses and barns and root cellars because the system worked. Every drop that fell on the roof was captured, not lost to the ground. The Amish carried that knowledge from Switzerland and Germany to Lancaster County in the early 1700s and never stopped using it. The cistern under the barn is the same cistern the Romans built under Pompeii. The physics does not change. The water does not change. The only thing that changed was the law.
Now, if you already own a house and you are thinking this only applies to people with the space to build an underground cistern or the skill to redirect a downspout, stay with me, because this next part is specifically for you. You do not need to dig anything. You do not need a cistern. You do not need a contractor or a permit in most of the country. You need a barrel, a connector, and one afternoon. Before I give you the 3 systems, one thing to verify first. Check your state's current regulations on rainwater collection. As of 2026, all 50 states permit some form of residential rainwater collection. In 40 states, there are no restrictions at all. Colorado and Utah have volume limits. A few municipalities have local codes to check. The resource for this is your state's Department of Environmental Quality or Water Resources website. It takes 5 minutes and confirms exactly what you are permitted to collect and use. For the vast majority of viewers watching this, there are no restrictions, none. The legal landscape changed significantly between 2009 and 2020. The barrier that existed is largely gone. The barrel is what remains. Here is System 1, the rain barrel, for any home with a downspout. Find a 55-gallon food-grade barrel. Do not use a barrel that previously contained chemicals, motor oil, or non-food materials. Food-grade barrels are available from bakeries, food processing facilities, and restaurants that receive bulk ingredients. Many give them away for free when empty. They are also available online and at farm supply stores for $10 to $20 used. Add a spigot near the base of the barrel. Drill a hole sized to the spigot fitting, typically 3/4 of an inch.
Thread the spigot through with a washer and sealant on the interior side. This is a 10-minute job and requires only a drill and a spigot fitting costing $5 to $8 at any hardware store. Cut a hole in the top of the barrel and cover it with a fine mesh screen secured with a hose clamp or a tight lid with a screened vent. The mesh prevents mosquitoes from breeding in the stored water. This is not optional in warm climates. Fine mesh screen costs under $2. Install a simple downspout diverter, a fitting that connects between two sections of your existing downspout with a port that directs water into your barrel. When the barrel is full, the overflow returns to the downspout and continues to the ground. Downspout diverters cost $8 to $12 at hardware stores. Installation takes 20 minutes and requires no tools beyond a hacksaw to cut the downspout. Total system cost, if you source a free barrel from a bakery, under $15. If you purchase the barrel, $20 to $35. One afternoon. Permanent. One 55-gallon barrel fills completely in a moderate rain event on a 1,500 square foot roof. Over a growing season with typical rainfall, that barrel fills and empties dozens of times. The water you use on your garden, your lawn, your outdoor plants costs you nothing after the initial setup. System 2, the IBC tote system, for anyone who wants serious storage capacity. An intermediate bulk container, an IBC tote, is a 275 or 330-gallon food-grade plastic tank inside a metal frame designed for industrial liquid transport. When empty, they are available from food manufacturers, agricultural suppliers, and online marketplaces for $20 to $75 used. Food-grade IBC totes previously containing vegetable oil, food-grade glycerin, or corn syrup are ideal. They rinse clean and carry no chemical residue risk. Connect the IBC tote to your downspout using the same diverter method as System 1, with a larger diameter hose for faster fill rate. The IBC tote already has a large threaded port at the top for filling and a standard valve at the base for outflow. Add a mesh cover to the fill port. One IBC tote holds 5 times the volume of a standard rain barrel. 2 IBC totes on a 1,500 square foot roof in a region with 35 or more inches of annual rainfall capture enough water to irrigate a significant kitchen garden through an entire dry summer with no municipal water use whatsoever. Total system cost, $50 to $150 for 2 totes, depending on source and condition. The infrastructure, frames, valves, and ports is already built into the container. System 3, the first flush diverter, for cleaner water. The first water off any roof after a dry period carries the accumulated debris, bird droppings, dust, and atmospheric particulates from the roof surface. The first flush diverter is a pipe section that captures this initial dirty water and diverts it away from your storage barrel. Only the cleaner water that follows goes into storage. Build one from standard PVC pipe, a vertical section of 4-inch PVC pipe approximately 1 to 2 feet long attached below your downspout connection with a small drainage hole at the base. The first water off the roof fills this pipe and drains slowly through the small hole. Once the pipe is full, subsequent cleaner water is directed to your storage barrel. Materials cost, under $10 in PVC fittings and pipe. Installation time, 30 minutes. Result, significantly cleaner stored water, suitable for vegetable garden irrigation with no treatment required.
Before I give you the number, drop your state in the comments and tell me what your current monthly water bill is, and tell me whether you have space for a barrel under a downspout, because the system I suggest depends on both. Your answer helps everyone watching understand what is actually possible where they live. Here is the number. The average American household pays $103 per month for water. That is $1,236 per year. Over 30 years, that is $37,080 for water. According to Bluefield Research, those bills have risen 24% in 5 years and 207% since the year 2000. The trajectory is not reversing. Water infrastructure across the country is aging. The cost to maintain and replace it is being passed to ratepayers.
In some cities, minimum wage earners work 20 hours a month just to pay the water bill. A 55-gallon rain barrel system costs $15 to $35 to build. One afternoon, one downspout. It does not replace your entire water bill. It was not designed to, but it replaces a significant portion of your outdoor water use: garden irrigation, lawn watering, washing vehicles, outdoor cleaning. An IBC tote system costs $50 to $150. It stores enough water to irrigate a full kitchen garden through a dry summer without turning on the outdoor tap once. The $37,000 does not go away, but a portion of it stops leaving your account. Every barrel that fills in a rain event is water you are not purchasing from a municipal system that has tripled its price in 25 years. The Amish farmer in Lancaster County has paid nothing for water in 300 years of continuous habitation on that land. His cistern cost labor and stone and time. It has required no subscription, no monthly statement, no rate increase. The rain keeps falling. The cistern keeps filling. The bill has never arrived. The doctrine of prior appropriation was written in 1876 for gold miners diverting rivers through the Colorado mountains. It held for 140 years. Homeowners in Colorado were fined and surveilled from aircraft for putting a barrel under a downspout. The law was not designed for them. It was designed for a mining economy that no longer existed, but it stayed on the books because a law that prevents homeowners from capturing their own rainwater is also a law that keeps those homeowners dependent on a metered, billed, and rate-adjusted supply. The Indus Valley built rainwater cisterns into their city foundations 5,000 years ago. The Romans built underground cisterns under every house in Pompeii before the aqueduct arrived. Venice survived centuries entirely on rainwater collected in filtered stone wells. The Anasazi channeled mesa water into cliff reservoirs. The colonial settlers recorded their preference for soft rainwater over hard groundwater in their journals. The Amish brought the cistern knowledge from Switzerland to Lancaster County in 1710 and have never stopped using it. And in Colorado, until 2016, putting a barrel under your downspout was a criminal act. The rain has not changed. The physics has not changed. The cistern under the Amish barn is the same cistern the Romans built 2,000 years ago. The only thing that changed was a law written for gold miners that happened to be useful to the people who now send you a bill for water your roof was already catching. Now you know what to put under your downspout, and the barrel is available at any bakery for free. The knowledge was always yours.